Welcome to the Hooded Blacksmith. In this episode I'll be attempting to make a decorative fire poker that is traditionally fire welded. Traditional scarf welding is one of the most irritating techniques. At the end of this video I'll put a bloopers reel on the amount of times that I failed spectacularly getting it to stick. So please do not think that I'm a master by any means, because I certainly don't. The first step will be to fire weld 6mm rounds together. I like to do this in sets of 2, and then once all of them are welded together, put them together into the final core. Or you could simply tack weld them all together with a MIG welder and then fire weld that together. Next I shall weld the 2 parts into a 4 section and then the 4 into an 8. Here's a perfect example of what happens when you leave your work in the fire without paying attention to it. Well, time to start this one again. Scarf both ends of the 12mm round bar, as we're going to be welding a chunk on later to form the point. The last and most critical fire weld left on this fire poker is to do what is known as a pommel weld. I'm going to take this piece of 16mm round, roll it over the end and fire weld it in place, creating a pommel. Before I fire weld it, I'm going to disc off this excess piece here. When cut off, I left it at an angle, much like a scarf weld, so that when it is squeezed in together, it will weld more cohesively. Here we have some different examples of various pommel welds that can be used to make the end of a handle slightly more depth. With all of the fire welds now complete, the most nerve-wracking part of building this poker has now been done. There's always a chance that you can mess it up past this stage, but it's much less likely. Next step to do is to open up the cage twist. You can leave it as is, but I prefer to open it up and make it look more decorative. One of the most difficult and tedious parts of making traditional pieces like this is the constant fiddling to make each of the spirals on these handles look even and neat. Unfortunately, a few of the spirals are cracked up the top here, so I may have to go in and put a MIG weld to make sure that they don't come apart later and cause any problems. strictly speaking, is this cheating? Yes. Do I particularly care? No. As at the end of the day, the final product is more important than my pride as a maker to do it all traditionally. Next you need to put 2 points on this bit of 6mm round. Next you mark off the centre of the twisted piece. And then drill 6mm hole through that. Step is to get this piece through that hole, roughly centered. Unfortunately, I lost the footage of me twisting these round, but while they're hot, you simply follow them with a pair of tongs, squeezing the piece of 6mm as tight to the fire poker as you can, and then go over it again with a hammer to try and get it as close to the finished shape as possible. Thank you for watching my video on how to make a decorative fire poker. The twist didn't come out exactly as intended, but it is just a bit of experimentation to see things. If you'd like to send in your own twist ideas, also consider emailing me the pictures. I'd love to see the different variety that you guys can come up with. I'll catch you next.